I even set this all up earlier so I could do the minutes. So
Oh, no way. That's great. If you
Wow.
look at it, there's only, there's no, well, we'll get into it. Hold on.
yeah, there are no hearings, no permits.
Well,
We
well,
haven't told you about the add-ons yet, Tom.
yeah, Rick
Ah,
had,
the add-on.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So Mary has, we are recording. Rick, do you have share screen?
I do not. If you want to,
Yeah.
or actually, yep, I do.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yep.
Oh, I just messed up something. I'm in a whiteboard.
You just have to press stop share screen share.
Stop share?
Yep.
No. Oh, stop? Okay.
There we go.
So you're all set, right?
All right. Yep.
Okay.
Hey, I can hear somebody laughing at us in the background.
All right.
Rebecca.
Okay. So,
Rebecca.
all right. So
Oh, I thought she was laughing at us.
we're recording. Tom, you're going to take meeting minutes?
Sure.
Sounds great. So
Thanks, Tom.
the meeting is starting at 6:13. I'm going to approve the agenda as stated. And Rick, do you have anything to add to the meeting agenda tonight?
Yep. So we're going to add 2 septic permits. The first is 190 Sherbet Road, and that's an upgrade with local upgrade approvals.
You get that, Tom?
Yep.
And the other one is going to be 34 Spruce Drive, and that's also an upgrade with local upgrade approvals.
Okay. So those are 2 additions.
Yep.
And then we approved the meeting minutes from February 2nd. Does anybody have an issue with that? Patrick, do you have any issues with the February 2nd meeting minutes? Okay.
None whatsoever.
Tom, do you have any questions or concerns about the February 2nd?
No, I don't.
Okay, good. So we'll go into the hearing, the first hearing.
All right. Yeah. So I'll pull the plan up for 190 Sherbet Road.
And because it's a local upgrade, no green cards are required or anything. It's not.
Right. Yep.
Okay. I thought Rick said there was an engineer. Oh, I've got it. Chris, hi, Chris. How you doing?
Good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
There he is.
So which one are you going to bring up?
So the 190 Sherbet Road.
All right. Chris, is that you or both of these you?
Yeah, no, just this one is me.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is for 190 Sherbet Road. It's a repair. The existing system currently is actually on the lake side of the house. It's a 2-bedroom house, single family. We're proposing to relocate the system all the way to the, I guess that would be the west, I believe, the south, excuse me, right up against Sherbet Road. It gets it the farthest away from the lake and the farthest offset to the well. It will need a pump, obviously, because it is uphill. We have good soils, 3 minute an inch material. We are asking for a local upgrade approval for the reduction in the 12-inch separation for the inlet and outlet tees to high groundwater. We are going to reduce the risk of leakage with we're proposing a monolithic tank in that area, as well as we're requesting a reduction from 100 feet down to 84 feet to the well. And the reason we're doing this, as opposed to tying into the water system, the public system that is in the road, the homeowner frankly can't afford it. At this point, I think she's actually going to really struggle to even be able to afford to install the system. So we're requesting the variance to be able to allow her to utilize the existing well on the site, instead of having to have her incur the cost of tying in the new into the new water line. But it's, like I said, it's a fairly straightforward system, stone and pipe. We're sleeving it going into the driveway so we don't have a risk of damage from vehicular traffic. That's basically it. I can answer any other questions you have.
Do we have a letter on this?
Yep, I do. It's dated today.
Did you get that, Tom?
What's it stated when?
Today, March 2nd.
Okay.
You can just refer to the letter. Tell me when you're ready, Tom.
I'm all set.
All right. So Rick, do you have any concerns on this?
So yeah, like Chris said, the two variances, one is the reduction in tank tees. Really can't adjust that. You're working with existing plumbing. So it is what it is as far as that goes. They'll meet what the regs require as far as, the boots, and he's proposing the monolithic tank. The other one is the offset to the well. So, if you look at the plan, the system's basically as far as you can get it. Unfortunately, the well is kind of right in the middle of the property, and then you've got the pond on the other side. So as long as you guys are okay accepting the answer, which is basically she's financially strapped and can't afford to tie into town water at this time, then it's as max feasible compliance as we can get without doing that.
Okay. And this is an upgrade, so was there a sale or something? Why is this being,
No, it's actually just, she started having backups into into her house, into the plumbing, and I guess it was in the fall. She had a plumber go out and look, and they opened the tank, and the water was actually coming back into the tank from the system. So it's
okay,
just
all right.
fully fit, full failure.
Okay, all right. All right. So Rick, okay. Pat, do you have any questions? You understand that this is the best we could do, the
Best we can do.
Yep. Tom?
So this is not strictly just a septic permit, but a variance, right?
So local upgrade approval is what they call them.
Okay.
But yeah, there's two of them that they're asking for.
Okay.
I don't have any issues with it based on what you've told me, Rick. So Pat, you want a motion, mention the letter, March 5th?
I move to accept the local variances as outlined in the letter for, what is this,
190
195 Sherbet?
190.
190
Sherbet Road.
Sherbet.
190 Sherbet Road.
I second that.
All right, all those in favor, say aye. Patrick?
Patrick Durkee, aye.
Tom Flanagan, aye.
Glenn Hathaway, aye.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
All right, okay, Chris, thank you.
All right, so I'll bring this one down and bring up the 34 Spruce Drive. All right. So this is 34 Spruce Drive. They are looking to sell the property, and Title V failed for it. So they're looking to just upgrade for what's existing, which is a 3-bedroom house. Looking to utilize the existing septic tank, which Title V allows as long as it's a 1,000 gallon minimum capacity. So as part of it, they'll be required to inspect that tank for structural integrity and confirm capacity. And then they're going to add a pump chamber onto it, 1,000 gallon pump chamber that'll pump up to these infiltrator trenches. The variances that they're asking for are a reduction in the groundwater offset from 4 feet to 3 feet, and that's it.
Oh, okay. All right, the best thing we can do for that, Rick, that's,
Yeah, so basically, you can see this radius right here is for the well that's shown off the corner here.
yeah,
So they're kind of pushed over to this side of the property.
yeah.
The existing system is kind of right in this area too, and they wanted to utilize the existing septic tanks that's already there. So as far as location, it seems to make a lot of sense. And you can just see it's kind of a skinny lot. So that additional foot would just kind of start pushing your grading out over the property lines.
Yeah.
And you need to do something. You're already using a barrier to reduce it, so you'd probably be looking at a retaining wall at that point. So it seems to make sense, and it's a variance that you guys typically would approve for upgrades.
All right, I don't know if we need, it's only one thing, but is there a letter?
Yes, there is. It's dated March 1st.
What was the
And the-
reduction from 4 to what?
4 to 3 feet.
You're open
set.
to state it or mention the letter.
Yep.
All right, Pat, do you have any concerns?
No concerns.
All right, Tom, do you have any questions or concerns about this?
I don't.
Okay. Pat, you want a motion?
What's the address here again?
34 Spruce Drive.
I move to accept the variance as outlined in the letter for 34 Spruce Drive.
Okay,
I second that.
okay, all those in favor say aye. Pat?
Patrick Durkee, aye.
Tom Flanagan, aye.
Glenn Hathaway, aye. So we should be all set. You all set, Rick?
Yep.
All right, so that's it for hearings and permits. Correspondence, appointments, I don't see anything. So we're really going to discussion. Tom, are you all set with any notes for the hearings and permits? You're all set?
Yes.
Okay. So you want to give us an update?
Sure, yeah, I'll go through kind of everything that I think I've got as far as COVID goes. So just to go over where the case count stands for Ashburnham, the most recent report came out on February 25th, so Thursday last week. And again, these numbers are the 2-week case count. So previous 14-day period was 30 cases, which puts Ashburnham in the red. It was an increase from the previous reporting on February 18th that had 25 cases. And that would have put you in that yellow category. Prior to that, it was on February 11th, 24 cases, which was also yellow. And the week before that was February 4th at 36 cases, which was red. You know, in general, throughout the district, we've seen a decrease in cases. And I think the case count jumped a little bit, and it's attributed to a particular issue. So hopefully next week we'll see that case count start to drop back down again. And you know, we're continuing to do the case tracing and make sure we're pulling all those close contacts out of where they are. You know, the other big news that came out since we last met was that effective March 1st, the state was no longer going to be providing the local boards of health with vaccine. So there are no local clinics anymore at this point. If anybody's looking for appointments, the best place to direct them would be to the mass.gov website. If they really don't have internet access or are just not tech savvy and don't have anybody to help, Mass 211 is an option, but they are being really strict about who they're allowing to schedule with the Mass 211, and they're really reserving it for people that just either don't have access to the internet or are, you know, just not tech savvy and don't have, you know, somebody that could help them. The other places are, you know, pharmacies are starting to pop up, and you know, checking in with your doctor's office to see if they're planning to offer the vaccine or possibly already are. The closest that I'm aware of to Ashburnham would be in Gardner. So there's, I believe,
Haywood, correct?
yeah, so there's Haywood Hospital that has, I believe it's 2 sites. So one is the Polish American Club. The other is the actual hospital. There's also, is it a Price Chopper in Gardner?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think the Price Chopper is doing it. And also, I think it's a Walgreens, either a Walgreens or a CVS is offering it too. And all those options would show up on the mass.gov website as available locations. The issue is still just availability, and demand is just more than what they've got. So the state is getting somewhere around 130,000 vaccines a week. Hopefully the Johnson & Johnson one being approved will help out with that. But we were told that they received a pretty small amount and don't plan to receive any more of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine until the end of March. So we probably won't see its effect until the end of this month. But just tell people to be patient and, be diligent, and if they want the vaccine, they will get it, but it might take some patience to get there. You haven't really had any recent complaints in town relative to the COVID-19 safety standards. And then there were a bunch of changes that went into effect today that were relevant relative to the state's reopening plan. And just give me 1 second, I want to pull those up. All right, so effective yesterday, so March 1st, the state went into phase 3, step 2. So that reopened indoor performance venues such as concert halls, theaters, and other indoor performance spaces. They're opening at 50% capacity with a 500-person maximum. Also opening our indoor recreational activities with the greater potential for contact. So those are things like laser tag, roller skating, trampoline parks, obstacle courses, and those are also opening at 50% capacity. Also effective
Is the
March.
music one, is that associated with pubs? I speak to our pub, used to have music.
So they're going to be able to start to do performances inside, no singing, but they could have something like instruments
Okay,
as a,
all right.
to do it. So also effective yesterday, March 1st, they're going to increase to 50% capacity, and most of these were at 40% capacity. And just to clarify, this excludes employees, so they're not included towards these counts. It would be arcades and other indoor and outdoor recreation businesses, close contact personal services. These are things like hair salons, nail salons, tattoos, places like that. Driving and flight schools, fitness centers and health clubs, golf facilities that are indoors, libraries, common spaces and lodging, museums, cultural and historic facilities, guided tours, office spaces, places of worship, sectors not otherwise addressed, theaters and performance venues, relevant EEA industries. These are things like youth sports spectators, and the following remain unaffected. So they still have the same capacity that they were previously at. These are drive-in movie theaters, construction, laboratories, and manufacturing. Also effective March 1st, there's some changes to the restaurant guidances. So they're going to be getting rid of the capacity limits in the restaurants and basically allowing them to put as many tables in as they can, spaced 6 feet apart. And there'll still be a 90-minute time limit on tables. Food courts are going to remain closed. And like I said before, they can have performances, but they're only going to be, no singing is really the only rule, as long as they're appropriately distanced. Fitting rooms will be open in retail businesses. And then this is moving out and hoping that the public health data continues to support reopening. Effective March 22nd, they would increase the event venues and public settings. For event venues and public settings would be 100 people indoors and 150 people outdoors. That would be something like a wedding. At private settings, such as private residences, you're limited to 10 people indoors and 25 people outdoors. Also effective March 22nd, if the public health data supports it, indoor and outdoor stadiums, arenas, and ballparks would reopen with a 12% capacity limits. A large venue is defined as having a capacity of 5,000 or more. Venues with a capacity under 5,000 are subject to the indoor and outdoor performance venue guidance. Large venues will be required to submit a safety plan to the Department of Public Health. They've also stated that overnight camps will be allowed to open for summer 2021, although we haven't seen any guidance documents as far as what rules they're going to have to abide by. Exhibition and convention halls may reopen subject to the gathering limits and event rules. Dance floors may open at weddings and events only, and all other phase 4 industries will not be able to open. These will be covered in a future step, and those would include things like road races, street festivals, parades and fairs, amusement parks, theme parks, outdoor water parks, indoor water parks, and indoor outdoor ball pits, saunas, hot tubs, steam rooms, and at fitness centers, beer gardens, breweries, wineries, distilleries, bars, dance clubs, and nightclubs. Those are all going to be in the future, but if the public health data continues to support it, some of those things will open up on March 22nd.
This is great. That's all good news. I'm going to go around the table. I don't think I've done this before. I apologize. For Pat, have you got anything? Have you heard any complaints from anybody?
No, I haven't heard anything negative.
Okay.
I mean, except for people's frustration that, of course, they want to see things starting to open, but, it has to come back in some type of controlled manner.
Yeah. Okay.
I look forward to when they're going to be doing music down at the tavern, and they won't be singing, they'll just be humming.
Yes. Yes. Well, it sounds like we can actually, they can play.
Maybe we'll just tap our knee.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else, Pat?
No, I think it's almost your dinner time.
Oh, no, I don't care at this point. I'm fine. Tom, have you heard anything from the community that you want to share with us, or the same thing as Pat?
What community?
The community inside your home.
Yeah, I know. All right. So the people you've talked to, I'm just looking, I think this is pretty positive. It's very positive. The locations, there's, from Doctors, CVS Gardner, Price Chopper, the Polish American Club, Walgreens. I mean, this is all location is great. It's the quantity getting shots.
It's still very difficult to get, though.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so there's about 130,000 vaccines that the state's getting a week, and right now there's probably somewhere in the range of like 1.2 million people that are eligible.
Right today. All right. Oh, eligible as in the over.
They could get it. So there's obviously people that in that group that might not want the vaccine, but 1.2 million people plus or minus would be eligible for it and haven't received their first.
And right now we're getting 130,000.
130,000 a week.
A week.
Yeah.
Is that on the website too? On the state?
It's on the mass.gov website.
Okay.
So that was something that they had released last week. So prior to, I think last week was the first week they received 130,000. Prior to that, they were receiving about 110,000 a week.
So it would take 10 weeks, right, to get 1.3 to meet the 1.2. Yeah. And that's just the over 65, not counting everybody below 65. So anybody that might be eligible, they had estimated that was about 1.5 million people. Yeah.
So we've been doing it for 3 weeks. So that's how I kind of got to the 1.2.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm just trying to throw numbers together that we all hear in the so below the 1.2 million, below 65, do you have the actual number for Massachusetts, what the population is?
I'm not sure what it is, but the next phase, which would be, it opens it up to quite a few more people. So I think you start getting into the multiple millions of people.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I mean, I can look on the web and see what our population is for the state.
Oh, for Ashburnham, you're talking about?
Well, yeah, I was going to get there.
Mass.
Yeah. So, well, I think we're 6,000 to 7,000 people. Do you even know what percentage?
We have gotten the information as far as the over 75 crowd. but we hadn't got any population information for anything other than that.
What is that number? We had like 4 to
It
50
was about 440 something people, I want to say,
that got shots.
No, no.
that were over 75 in town.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I had that number too. I'm just curious. So did we get to 474? Do we even know that?
We don't know. So we know that we did. I think we've done 3 clinics now, and we did 12 the first time, 9 the second time, and 12 the third time. So I think we've vaccinated about 33 people plus or minus.
Okay. How do we?
I doubt that they're reporting, if you have to go to Lowell or Gillette Stadium, which people are doing, I doubt that they're reporting back to Ashburnham.
No, yeah, the state has all the numbers, but they're not providing that to us locally.
Okay.
Right.
So based on this information, as far as our website, it still says to go to the state website, and as you click on a button and you go to the state website, right?
Yep.
Okay. So it can't be much easier than that. You go on and we say, if you want this information, go and locations, go to the website. Does it actually say that? I'm trying to think.
Yeah, it has a link right to that map that the state has.
Okay.
And it says that if you're eligible and looking for an appointment, that's where to go.
Yeah.
They did revise the state's website a week or 2 ago so that you can filter some things out and have it search only for sites that have available appointments now.
Okay. All right.
So
Yeah,
my wife ran into a person who works over at CVS, and she was just hired recently to start doing vaccinations for CVS. And she said, skip the state site. And she said, if you can go straight to the CVS site to start booking your appointments. She said it's a much easier site than the state's.
Yeah, it's easier. I've looked at it, but there were nothing available.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, because they haven't started getting their vaccinations yet.
Haywood
So
also
you can
has
sign up
their-
easily.
Haywood also has their own registration website, and they actually have a number you can call to. But you can also find them through mass.gov.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to make sure the website, I just went on the website, I went to the town website, clicked on more information about COVID. It went to our site, and, second line down is state of Massachusetts has a plan to roll out, boom, boom. And then it has a MassGov COVID vaccine, it's highlighted, you click on it and then you go to the site. So it's 2 clicks and you're in. So it seemed to me easy enough to get in. The information we just talked about, all these available. So I heard all this on the news, doctor's office, Walgreens. I didn't hear Polish American Club at Gardner, but I know distribution throughout the states are using the network that's in place, for these pharmacies, Price Chopper, and I've heard all that. So we don't have to say that on our site, right? Does anybody feel like we need to say and repeat any of this because it's stated?
No, I don't think
Okay.
so.
All right, because we did get a remark that people thought there was, that they didn't want to go to the state site. They were a little hesitant, and we made a choice a year ago that we weren't going to start repeating information because we didn't have the staffing to keep it updated. Just give them 2 clicks, boom, they're on the state site, and the state site has gotten easier, I think, and it has, the information has gotten a little more accurate too. So, and again, all this stuff, all these sites, that's all happened in the last few weeks too. So, before that, there wasn't anything. I'm curious if people, do we need to put, or I guess the number of shots you had anyway was so low, 10, 12 per week. Do we even need to put on our site that the local boards will not be giving anything, or the numbers were so low, it really, we weren't accommodating anybody?
I think that we served a purpose. I mean, the majority of the people that were coming through our clinics were they came on the MART vans and they were pretty immobile. So having a local clinic for those type of people, it really seemed a lot better than trying to send them through, mass vaccination site. So, it worked out well, and, we didn't really help way too many people, but, the people that we helped, it seemed like it was beneficial.
Okay, all right. Scott's not on, I think Scott's the only one, his kids are still in school. Anything about graduations in June for the local high school? Is that?
They just started talking about that on today's Department of Health Public Health call. So they're considering that. They're looking into proms. So they said that they'll have to get back to us on that, but they are looking into it.
Okay, all right. Again, I'm asking these questions because I do have a couple of friends who have kids in school, and I've heard that that proms were out because they would need to know sooner than later, but graduations might be in. But again, these are in other towns, so the information was a little mixed or whatever. Okay, that's all I have for questions. Looking at our hearings, appointments, correspondence.
I just got an email from John that he was trying to log in, but couldn't do it. So I'm gonna.
We're
right.
done
No
anyway.
need for him to come
Yeah.
on at this point.
Yeah, we're all done. And Scott just had texted me, he's still in the meeting.
Yeah,
So,
let's,
anyway, all right,
Okay.
so I'll go around the table one more time. Rick, are you all set?
Yep.
Patrick, any other questions or concerns?
all set, thank you.
Tom?
Now I'm putting down meeting adjourned at 6:45, or, yeah, meeting ended at 6:45.
Don't forget to end your recording.
Yeah, no, I did not. And I'm going to go in and stop recording. Right, Rick?
Yep.
All right, we're all set. Thank you, everyone.
Perfect. Night, gentlemen.
All right. Good night, guys.
Stop recording.